Hi guys, it's Phil from iTribe. Just a real quick one. I just want to talk about posture and how we can get you a little bit stronger and more in line for your running and everything like that. So there'll be a couple of times on the video that I will say, let's pause it there so you can go off, maybe record yourself doing what we've just done, and then come back in and go into the next exercise. So it's basically two exercises. It tells me whether you're firing correctly through your body, whether your glutes are firing, which are very, very important. Most people don't fire through them very well. Whether you're too tight through your hip flexors, which is going to affect your posture leaning forward when you're running or leaning forward when you're going onto the bike. So these are very, very important. So first thing I'm going to do is take my shoes off. And one thing I'm just going to point out is through the demo, unfortunately a few years ago, I had a very bad football tackle on me and it stopped me being able to bend my knee over my foot. So when I do this, I'm going to be raising my foot a lot. If you can try and bear in mind to try and keep your foot down, that would be fantastic. So the first thing I would like to look at, and I'll do one from the front, one from the side, is it's an overhead squat. So I'm going to get you to put your hands fairly straight and above your head, and we're going to perform a squat. Now, again, I'll point out a couple of bits that I do, and if we can, I'm going to get you to do it slightly differently. It's only because of that leg. So the first thing to do is to pop your hands up and above your head. Try and keep the elbows not locked out, but sort of nice and straight. So we're going to then try and get you guys hip width apart on your feet with your toes just pointing out ever so slightly. Now, for me to do this, I can't bend that knee, so I can't even get into that first squat position. So I'm going to go a little bit wider for me, and I'm going to have to turn my feet out. So for me, I will go into that squat. I'm going to look at your arm position, whether the arms bend, whether they come down, and then I'm going to get you back up. We're going to do a few reps, and then the other things I'm going to look out for is what happens through your feet. Do they over-rotate in? Do your knees rotate in and your feet roll over? Does your hip drop over to one side? And bits and pieces like that. So just a few reps, and you can see because I can't bend that knee, I tilt forward ever so much on it. Now ideally for you guys, if you could go narrow with your feet, and then go into your squat. I'm going to come up onto my toes for this, but hopefully you can go onto your heels and sit back into it a little bit better. So for me to come down, I have to come up with those heels. And again, just go in it, try and get your camera straight on so I can have a look at the alignment and just go into a few squats. If I just go from the side, again, if I keep my heels down and wide like I did originally, you can see I tilt forward a lot because I can't bend my knees forward. So again, if I come narrow where I'd like you guys to be, just sort of just over hip width apart, I would come down, and that's the only way I'd be able to squat. If you do 10 reps of that on your phone or your iPad and record it face on and side on, if you pause this one now, and then once you've done that, we'll come back and have a look at the single leg squat. Okay guys, so you've done your squats and you've recorded it, and from the front and the side. So now we're going to have a look at the single leg squat. So this will really highlight whether you're putting too much weight over to one side, whether you dominate, whether one's hip is dropping out and the knee goes in. Again, alignment, if we can get you better aligned, we're going to have more energy going forward, which is going to make you much more powerful, much more efficient, much faster for the same sort of heart rate, same sort of effort, which should be fantastic. So just for a demo on the front, we're going to come to one leg. First of all, just testing out your balancing skills. With your opposite leg that's not on the floor, just let it drop backwards. A lot of people want to tense it forward, which will affect how this goes. So all we're going to do is just keep your arms nice and relaxed, or just out in front, whatever is best for you. You might find you just want to use it for a bit of balance. And all we're going to do is go into a one-legged squat. And we're going to have a look at your alignment. We're going to have a look at whether your knee goes in, whether your hip drops out, whether you roll your foot right over, whether you can actually balance. Okay, so just nice and relaxed. I'll just do a few reps. It will tell me where you're tight and where you're strong. And just from the side, okay, it just tells me where you're moving from. Okay, so at the end of this video, if you could then, you've already got your squat video, if you could then go and do both legs on your single leg squat, repeating obviously onto the other leg. If you could do something like 5 to 10 reps on there, nice and controlled, nothing rushed, If you need to and you put your foot down because of the balance, absolutely fine. And then I'll get back to you with some feedback regarding that. Cheers, guys.